Welcome everybody, welcome to some Flat Earth Science by Papa Fliff, the Flat Earth Scientist. I'm about to show you something today. It's mind-blowing. Well, I've done plenty of mind-blowing videos, but you've got to have a mind to have it blown, so that's a prerequisite to understanding the flat earth. You've got to have a brain, and the average science wannabe does not have sufficient brain power to understand reality. This video, I've covered this part here because I was going to do a video all about how the Egyptians knew the earth was flat. And it's all told in the mythological story of Horus, Isis, Osiris and Seth or Set. It's a lot of explanations. It's just like the Bible. If I was to break the Bible down, I would need 1,000 more Bibles, or the books the size of a Bible. So working on this just took me into something else. So we'll do the science video first, and then I'll come back to the mythological story regarding philosophy. Now, you've all heard of a Nobel Prize. Well, times it by 1,000% of what I've got here. Now, of course, I'll never get a Nobel Prize because flat earthers will never get Nobel Prizes because they don't want you to know the truth. It's all about illusion and making you think you know what you're looking at, or make you think you know what you're talking about, when all along it's all based on crap. Equation on top of equation. Like this guy, Bob the Science Guy, just did a video on the spherical journey of the sun, or the spherical journey of the earth going around the sun, and all the equations that go with it. So my comment was him, well, it's all bullshit now, isn't it? Because you've got an ellipse, an ecliptic journey. So you've got to make another video on another equation. And then you've got the pear-shaped earth. Creates another equation. In reality, you don't need equations. I've shown the whole flat earth design without any equations. So this is what's happening with the flat earth. Earth is all an illusion to the common man, which creates delusional equations. So you've seen many of my videos, no doubt, hopefully. Go back and see them if you haven't. The flat earth design, the slice through it. This is what they're calling the what do they call it? Spheroid. The can't even think of the word, science word. It's not circular, is it? This word. And you've seen that Freemasons video. He's not talking, he's drawing pictures, shows the CD disc, and that draws this shape. Well, that's the shape of the earth. It's like a magnetic field coming off a ring magnet, or a bar magnet, whatever, but a ring magnet. It's not spherical. So anyway, listen up. I'm not sure if I can explain it very well, but it's all here in this little picture here. So there's your centre north, the centre of the toroidal field. The toroidal field that surrounds Earth. We're all in here on the plane of inertia, in here sitting on the flat Earth inside this toroidal field, moving magnetic field. It's the magnetic field that creates the force field that we're all enclosed in. They discovered all this when they started writing the series Star Trek, understanding what man is, and when they get beamed up, beam me up Scotty, that sort of thing. because that's what we are, resonating with just everything's vibrating, resonating to frequencies. Nothing's solid. And because we're moving so fast, we're resonating so quickly, we appear to be solid. But they understand the force field, and they understand what man really is. Vibrating atoms. Well, this is the toroidal field. It comes out of the centre like this. So you might have an overall flux coming out, giving this pattern. But it's basically shaped like this, and we're all inside here. This is the physical world. We're all in. Both sides. It's a donut, right? Sliced in half. We don't understand this side of things. It's outside of our realm. We can't get in there. It's very small in here. Place of inaccessibility, they call it. Well, that's brought down here with the magnetic fields. Basically what's happening on a compass, a magnet, all magnets have an equator. They don't just rush from the north to the south or south to the north. There's an equator, a divider to the centre, an equator. Well, in Earth's case anyway. But for a toroidal field to be moving, I'm pretty sure they'd all have to have that equator, that system. But in the case of Earth, this is how it works. Everything comes out of the centre here that we don't understand. That's God. It's God's own. Everything to do with religion and God. We don't know it. We don't see it. It's written. And people poo-poo the Bible because it's a science book. It's all in there. Now out of the centre, now see, this is science. We're talking about currents and magnetic fields. Now they're a right-hand rule. Current, magnetic field will go this way. The current's flowing that way, magnetic field will go this way. But I've mentioned many times in my videos that creation back here is opposite to our physical world. This is what you have to understand. This is the delusion of man. The illusion, it creates the delusion. We're like a parabolic image to this. Opposites. Now what's the opposite to this? Well, in Earth's case, this is the sun. But it's reversed because it's the opposite. And this would be the magnetic field. So let's say we've got the science system here. So, but this current here is represented by the sun. The sun is the electrical system in our flat Earth. The sun is tucked in here in the Milky Way. Inside here, blown up, seen out here, but we'll get onto that sort of stuff later. So you imagine this current, the magnetic field. So lay it down, because the sun is fixed in here and it turns. The sun turns. It's tucked in the Milky Way. It's tucked in their manger, tucked into a nest like an egg. It's all described in the Bible. And it turns. As this turns, it projects everything out here in our realm. So as this turns in here, we don't see it. It turns all the way around the tropical zone of our physical world. So the sun's turning. So straight away, this is the sun, but it's going this way, isn't it? So the magnetic field's going this way. Sun's going this way, magnetic field's going this way. There's your sun turning 24 hours, 360 degrees over a day, tucked in the Milky Way, of course. The magnetic field is coming up like this. Comes up and out. It comes up and out of the North Arctic and gets pulled back down to the Tropic of Cancer. Hits the Earth and shoots off like this along the Earth. The magnetic field along the ground. Thou shalt go. Well, that's in the science book they call Bible. Along the ground thou shalt go. So the magnetic field comes out of the Arctic, gets pulled back down at the Tropic of Cancer through the Earth to the south, comes back up, meets it's negative in here, meets the, well, that's the magnetic field, but it's a bit complicated when you start talking about auroras. But we're negative down here, positive atmosphere. It's all getting dragged together. But anyway, so it's coming out of the Arctic, getting pulled down here, along the ground thou shalt go, and then up here, down here, getting pulled down, Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, sorry, and then along the ground thou shalt go, and then back up. And this is how the magnetic field flows. It's the infinity sign. It's been left for us for hundreds of years in alchemy. Remember, alchemy, realise alchemy is originally from the atmosphere. It's all to do with the atmospheric layers. As above, so below. It's the gaseous representations of the physical world down here. So you pick up a bit of gold and a bit of silver. What are the gaseous elements in those? They're up here. In the layers. Different moisture layers, because everything in our realm is moisture. It's all water, gas, pressure. So it's coming up out of here, and it goes down here, along the earth, then back up. This is why we have two compasses, a northern hemisphere compass and a southern hemisphere compass, because if you're in the north is going to point along with the Earth's magnetic field, which is going along up here. That's north. You take this compass, use it out here, your northern point is going to be pointing south. This is why they spin them. One for a north and one for a south. Apparently there's about 5 different compasses for our Earth. But this is how it works. It comes along, it goes that way. So, you know, they're fooling you from the start by spinning that northern point around, because really it's going with the flow. It's going that way. Okay? Understand that? That's the sun turning, and the magnetic field's going this way. That's the infinity sign. That's how the flat earth works. Like I said, man's been fooled. It's worth 1,000 times Nobel Prize when you understand this. Because we don't know, we don't understand this. That's reality in there. And look, the magnetic field is coming up and out of where the sun is. But in our realm, hey look, it's coming back in. And we think the sun's there. That's not the sun, that's a projection. That's an image. That's not the real sun. But the magnetic field still comes like this, because it comes out of here. That's the real sun. That's the way it moves. Earth's magnetic field is the force field around the dielectric. I have to admit, I don't exactly know. I've tried to understand this word, but I haven't got a grip on it. But I'm pretty sure that's what it means. It's a dielectric field inside here, encased in the magnetic field, because there's an electrical system going on. How it's sitting out here, that's another deep story. But you've got to realise it's like magnets. Everything breaks down, 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 down. I've done plenty of videos on it. We see it here. It also appears here in the roaring 40s. Then it breaks down again. So every electrical system is a magnetic field around it. This is all the Coriolis effects you're getting on Earth. When you enter the Arctic Circle, your compass will lead you into the westerly spiral of the centre Earth. Hence, Arctic Circle. The spiral within the centre. Because your compass is going to be following this. You get so far, get to the Arctic Circle, it's going to follow this way westerly. You're going to be going this way all the time. Why they put it on one point in Canada or wherever north, it's just some sort of anomaly. I don't know what they're on about. Or they could be bullshitting you. But you're forever, if you could, probably because it's just a landmass, But if you're going to follow it, you just keep going in and into the centre. It spirals in. Well, you're in the ground here, so it'll, yeah, spirals in. And this is the central vortex, because it spirals up. It's a vortex up here. It's a big vortex, because it's a strong magnetic field that has the sun sitting in the centre of it. That's what the tokamak's all about. Plasma inside the strong magnetic field. It's pulled up. It's getting pulled up towards the sun. The plasma. That's what keeps the whole system going. Just got to try and explain this, but this is due to the sun, the electrical system flowing around the equator, the tropical zone. Because this is blown up. It's being pulled straight out. It's an amplifier. The black hole is an amplifier. Do you know about speakers and all sorts of things? That's what a black hole does. It amplifies everything. Science knows that. This in here, the place of inaccessibility, the place of nothing, creation comes from nothing. Science knows this too. It's all blown out. It's in there. You blow it out. You blow that out. What have you got? You've got it sitting out here in our physical realm, moving around. That's the sun moving around. The sun's moving around that way. The magnetic field's coming out like this. But because that's only an image, it's this one blown out, you've got to understand how the magnetic field's working. And he comes up here in reality, and look, it's in the opposite direction to the picture we see. Pretty sure that has science confused. That's why they can't figure out the flat earth design, maybe. Or maybe they know it, they just don't want to. Well, they know all the physics, what's going on in here. If you research the science, they know it all. It's all discovered. Got frickin' God knows how many names for this stupid shit. You know, but it's all in there. It's just, but they won't put it there. They put it out there millions and millions of miles away just to fool you. But it's all in there, vertically. The Milky Way's in there vertically. It's all in here, spiraling out. Out it goes. Yeah. Two compasses, hence the two hemispheres, right? Magnetic field along the ground, two directions. This is why you get to the equator, the tropical zone, your compass will be even. It won't follow the curving magnetic fields of our Earth. They've all got curving magnetic fields. You've seen the previous videos. But it'll be dead straight because you're between the north and the south. They're split off, so your compass is going to be dead north, dead south, isn't it? So the field's going up here. Your compass is going to point north. The compass always points towards the flow of the magnetic field. Okay? So we get out here, this compass here, it's going to be pointing south, because along the ground thou shalt go. But if you can elevate yourself way up here, which we can't, you'll find the magnetic field's going in the opposite direction. I mean, how high do we get? But 250,000 feet, I don't know, but even then, you're probably only about here. You're probably only way down here somewhere. You got no idea what's happening up there. Well, I think they do, because they've taken it from history and all the alchemy and everything. It's all been left in philosophy. That's what real philosophers are all about. They understand all this. They understand creation, they understand everything. That's real philosophy. You pick up a book written by some philosopher today, it's just total garbage. So there you have it, everyone. Easterly, the sun moving around easterly. It's all from in there, out here. So science understands this. Okay? Magnetic field, right hand rule. Well, try using the other thumb and go magnetic field, electrical, the sun turning. It's the left hand rule. Back in creation. Completely opposite. Focusing. Now pictures of the some of the planets or the brighter stars. Focusing is the illusion for the delusional. This is the image you get. That's the Milky Way. Remember, they're all for signs. There's a sign. Moon, Sun, Milky Way. That's what it looks like. The moon is a blueprint. It's a negative of the sun. That's why they're the same size. They're obviously not opposite like this all the time, but this is the sign. That's in our realm. That's what's happening. My next job is to figure out the sun, why its negative image is the moon is doing the spiraling out and in again when the sun is only stationary there. But it's to do with the magnetic fields. Magnetic field spirals out of the centre, spirals out. That's what the vortex is all about. It's very small, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. This is the night sky we see, that rotation around Polaris. You look down in there. What's down inside there? The sun. Down the centre, the sun is somewhere in the centre there. That's what you see is Polaris. And Polaris does that small circular motion. So does Sigma Octantis, because it's the same. It's the southern parabolic image of this. It's fainter and everything is more spread out. So it's enlarged and it's 180 degrees opposite to this. But if you get on the same longitude at the same time, the night, whatever's there will be there if you're directly at zenith. Whatever's there is there, but otherwise whatever's over there is going to be over here. Opposite. I've just shown this in an earlier video, the Orion's arch. See his arch in the southern field where we're down in the northern hemisphere looking north. We'll see it down because we see Orion upside down. I see his arch, nice arch down, westerly, down towards the horizon. And then up here, in the southern, because that's in the northern horizon, it should be parabolically imaged. It'll be opposite, diagonally opposite, 180 degrees. Is a broader, more faint. You've got to really search for it. You'll see this massive big arc of Orion's belt in the southern field. Because that's what's happening. Everything in the centre all marries together at this point around here. It's just a parabolic reflection. It all comes from the centre, it's all imaged out. As this turns, this turns. This turns like this. It moves around, this image moves around. There's always an image out here because it's all coming from the centre out. Looking for colour in your picture, you lose the blueprint. You avoid the colours, you get this image. It's all there, everyone. Now the next video, like I said, about the Egyptians, it's all associated, everything's connected. So look forward to that one. It's going to be very interesting. It's all there. In black and white, broken down in red pen. Explains the whole mythological story about horizons, irises, your Isis, your individual horizon, your perspective. So if anyone's willing to give me a Nobel Prize, I'll accept it. The sun moving east around that is. Could do with the money. Not that I'm here to make money. I'm here to share the truth. God. You don't have to be a religious nutter to understand what's going on here. You can't see that. You don't understand it. I'm here to explain it. Science wants you to ignore the godly aspect and deal with all their bullshit. But it's all here in black and white. Magnets have an equator. They don't even teach you that at school. It doesn't go from the south all the way to the north. It's BS. Look, it's coming out though, isn't it? And look, that's coming out, that comes out there. But it meets here, the equator. Battery's still going. See? That's the tropical zone. That's what it's all about. It's the whole flat earth design. The two fields. Pilots know what's happening when you cross over these boundaries at 25 degrees. A lot of turbulence. Downdrafts. Is it downdraft or updraft? The magnetic field going that way is probably got another. You know, with these magnetic fields, you've got to realise there's a dual system going on. Okay, spread the good news. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And get all your mates to subscribe and like. Everybody needs to find out what's going on here, because, you know, not long after I post the videos, they just go dead. I mean, they're being shadow banned. There's nothing happening unless you get out there and share it. Thanks for now. Catch you later.